Waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, and everything.
I hate you.
To the bus stop.
You gotta love that song, though, right?
I didn't know what that song was until the lyrics started.
Sitting in the back seat, gotta make my mind up. Which seat can I take? It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Okay, enough out of me.
We're gonna get DMCA. Thanks, Rebecca Black.
Keep singing. It's Friday. I'll tell you, that song. Gosh, that's so old. That was from like a couple years ago, right? I think so.
Couple. That's more like a decade.
By the way, the one-hit wonder of Rebecca Black.
Yes, that is true. That is true. And by the way, what's going on, Nick and Izzy family? Happy Friday to you. We made it through another week, my friends. And I'll tell you, there is so much going on out here. You know, one of our brothers, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know if you guys happen to watch him, but he's not really going to be able to make fun of Trump anymore. Can you believe that? And then I got to tell you as well, too, because it's so funny with Jessica Simpson. Do you remember her? Yes. She sings that famous song called A Public Affair, which I, by the way, used to be very obsessed with. And by the way, that sister was actually caught wearing like a bikini. And we're talking about like 20 and 30 degree weather, and people were kind of like,
Well, actually,
what are you doing, Jessica?
You're leaving out one thing. She was actually in the snow doing a photo shoot in a bikini. So,
yeah, which I can imagine. I mean, when you're a model, that's probably something that, you know, you might have to do, though. But hey, I mean, she better go ahead with her bad self. And then also, too, Dave Chappelle. We may not be seeing that brother, my friends, for a while, and we're going to tell you a little news about him. And by the way, how are you feeling tonight, Kyle? And how are you feeling tonight, Nick, on this gorgeous Friday evening in the tri-state area and the United States of America?
It's a good day!
Wow.
Trump is no longer president!
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the first time we've actually spoken to Kyle since Trump is not the president anymore. By the way, I sent the opening to Wednesday's show to Kyle. Kyle laughed hysterically when I put that together. By the way, yes, as you heard, Trump is no longer president. It's been, 2 or 3 days now since?
Yes.
And now we're seeing, and also, if you've been on social media the past couple of days, you're seeing Senator Biden memes going around. Bernie Sanders memes, where you're dropping...
Senator Biden, like, what are you talking about?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, the Birdie's mittens themes, like
the Bernie memes, and actually, in post production, when this show goes up on YouTube, I made a special production to put in the front. So Bernie's going to get a front row seat to the action for this. So
that one photo of him like sitting down with his mittens and gloves on. I mean, I have been seeing that trending all over the freaking place, and that's a really funny picture though, because somebody must have caught that, and whoever did catch that, actually, I know people are praising them right now.
By the way, if you go on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages at Nick and Izzy Show, you will actually find that I made our own versions of the Bernie Sanders sitting meme.
And it was great, too, Nick, by the way. That was awesome, man.
And actually, if you go to the Hearst Show page, you will find that as well. So we're inundated with Bernie memes.
Yes. And Nick and Izzy shared this with me not too long ago that Billy Joel decided to own Twitter by posting a picture of him with the piano. And guess who's sitting on the top? It's Bernie Sanders.
Oh, my gosh. That's freaking so funny. I love Billy Joel. I'll tell you, I want to see him in concert. Like, I've never seen that brother in concert.
I saw him. I saw him at MSG.
I got very lucky. I went to see Paul McCartney in 2017, and the whole night I was going, okay, this is New York, Paul McCartney. This is a huge guy, so he's got to have somebody come on stage with him. I figure, okay, maybe Billy Joel will come on. I'm like, okay, Billy Joel's gonna come at the end of the show. And then Paul McCartney goes, all right, we have a little surprise for you. Here's Mr. Billy Joel. And I'm like, I told you. And then Billy Joel went on to sing the birthday song.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one.
I paid $850 for those tickets. I had to get my money's worth.
I mean, seriously. I mean, those tickets are so fucking expensive that, like, that. No, I remember, like, because originally when my parents and I were looking to go to Madison Square Garden, when that original, you remember when Billy Joel put out like all the concerts he was doing, the Residents at MSG,
Oh yeah.
and he was doing so many freaking concerts, it was ridiculous. And all of a sudden, they were like, "Yeah, some of the tickets are like $2,500 down by the floor seating." And I'm like, "Okay, I prefer not to go broke buying tickets."
Yeah, I mean they're really expensive, and I gotta tell you too, guys. I think when everything does open back up in New York City, though, it's gonna be insane out there with how many people are gonna want to go to concerts. I know for me personally, I want to go back to a concert so bad because it's just so fun. You know, it's like you go in there, you just like have a little drink or something like that. You eat great food, and you just like look at your favorite person performing, and you just freaking lose your minds in there. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's been more than a year since my last concert, which was in Rochester. It was a Kansas concert, and believe it or not, you heard of the band Anthrax?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Joey Belladonna, the lead singer, was in attendance. He was at the show
Wow.
because apparently Anthrax did a cover of a Kansas song. I can't remember. Well, it's got to be "Wayward Son" because that's pretty much their biggest hit. So yeah.
Is that like the video you made with Raposo where you dropped the Dream Street song over the what was the other song you dropped that over?
Oh, When It Comes to Love.
So,
wait,
and,
no, the song or the Dream Street song.
No, you. I don't remember which Dream. It happens.
It happens every time. Over the Foreigner song. It was called "When It Comes to Love."
And by the way, that video did really well on your page.
Yes, and Sunday is going to be even better.
Yes, so we'll get to who's on week 2 in a little bit. We don't want to spoil that right now, but it's just I need to get out. Even though it's ironic because I've been going back and forth, like when I was working in the city, and like people are like, "Well, I'm complaining because I'm working at home," and I'm like, "Huh?" I said, "You're complaining? I'm going back and forth on an empty train most of the time."
You know, and if you're working at home, you just have to walk like 10 feet or something to your computer, type in your pajamas, go back to sleep.
You know what's worse? How many people do you think worked in their underwear since they were at home most of the time?
Oh
that should probably be like
millions. Easily millions with that.
Like 65-70% of people.
Yeah, I'm serious though. I think most people just sat in their underwear in front of the computer because no one's watching them anyway, unless you're doing some kind of video chats with your other people at work. But basically, yeah, well, I didn't have the chance to sit at home. I was going back and forth during the whole pandemic since March.
Because we're considered essential workers.
Kyle.
It's all about being huge. So, I don't know. So, all right, so let's get into some of the nonsense. And you're going to have to forgive me, Izzy, but right off the top, and I know because Kyle saw this and Izzy saw this, I need to talk about The Bachelor again. Okay? I have this weird, like, hate, or what do you want to call it, Kyle? Because usually you're good at calling these things. Like, my hatred for The Bachelor.
I don't really know because I never watched The Bachelor.
Yeah, tip to everybody, don't watch The Bachelor, don't watch The Bachelorette, don't watch Bachelor in Paradise, don't watch anything associated with The Bachelor.
Anything with the word bachelor in it is a dead thing.
Wait. There's one show. It's the John Bachelor show.
But he's got a T.
But I'm saying you said anything associated with the word bachelor in general. So
I'm John Bachelor. This is the John Bachelor show.
And John, I worked on his show for a long time, so I would always tell people to listen to that show. Anyway, back to The Bachelor with a CH.
Yeah, with a CH, yes.
So a story came out from The Bachelorette. I guess this was one of the females on the show, one of the women on the show, Becca Kerfin. God, that's a horrible last name. I don't even want to know how many people made fun of that. Regrets not talking politics during the show. Now, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the Bachelor allowed people talking politics when they're too busy stirring up drama inside the house.
Oh gosh, you know what though? It's so funny though, Nick, because I've seen that show like once in my life, and I just was never a big fan of it, and I couldn't really get into it. But it's like, yeah, The Bachelor is a lot of people like it though, because they're on the air and they keep making out new episodes and doing different things. So I guess it's just it's a very interesting like way I feel like of life, because I feel like it's about like a relationship that's like a certain kind of way. But I can't.
I just don't get it. And you know what? I like Chris Harrison, by the way, who's the host of The Bachelor. I think he's hosted Millionaire a few times. I don't know if he's done other stuff, but basically, I wish he was just I like him. I just don't like the show he's hosting. And by the way, let's meet people for 2 months, and then at the end, as a consolation prize, let's get down on one knee and propose. And say we're getting married after 2 months, because that makes total sense.
I actually know people that like that's happened to them before, and they just because hey, I mean, if you're in love with someone, just go after it, baby.
That's even worse than 90 Day Fiance.
Oh God.
Yeah, but it's real out here though. It does happen with like actual people who are not part of that show.
I just don't get it. Like all these drama shows. Now, I'm going to list a few. Okay. So you have the Bachelor's franchise and you have the Kardashians. Which one is worse?
I would say the Bachelor, yeah. Because the Kardashians, like, I actually like watching Kim and them personally, but I'm not really a huge fan of like the Kardashian show personally. But I do like watching them do like different kind of things though. And I've never really watched that show before. But The Bachelor, I just never got into it.
Kyle?
Let's see. I would think survey says for Bachelor. Survey says for Kardashian. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at myself for that.
That's okay, brother. That's freaking great. I always forget that you have like that sound effect thing like right in front of you.
You know what?
know.
You know what? I think we need to take a survey of the audience. Oh,
They will disapprove.
wrong game show.
Yeah.
I said I need to take a survey of the audience to find out which show works better.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think it's time that we ask the audience. All right, I'm gonna pretend to be Regis for a moment. All right, America, on your keypads, vote A, B, C, or D now. Okay, you voted for bullshit.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I don't know. I just people say to me like I've gotten messages from people, stop talking about The Bachelor, you're just giving them more promotion. Well, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. How about that? If I want to trash The Bachelor, I will trash The Bachelor as much as I want. This is a free country, goddammit.
You will never see me trash my Jeopardy, though.
No.
I love Jeopardy.
By the way, Ken Jennings doing a good job so far, right?
Oh, he's doing amazing. I was actually shocked of how good he was doing.
Did you see he got burned? Like
He did. For those who don't know, on his 75th day of his original run on Jeopardy, the question he lost on, the correct answer for the question was H&R Block. He put down FedEx, and it cost them the win, and therefore the streak was over. Somebody had the bright idea to write down what is H&R Block on a recent episode of Jeopardy, and he's like, "Oh, that brings back a lot of painful memories. You lost."
It was such a great moment too, because obviously the guy didn't know the answer, so he's like, "All right, either I could write nothing, or I could take a jab at Ken Jennings."
And guess what? Handed him winning the game.
And I'm like, "Holy cow! Like what the? Like what just happened there? Like you're taking a jab at the guy." And by the way, have you seen the other show that they're on too, The Chase?
You know what? I don't like the new format of The Chase.
I don't. So the point is that each person, there's a 3-person team. They each answer questions at $25,000 a piece. And then what happens is they pick a random, not random. What do they call it?
Pick a chaser.
Okay. They pick the 3 chasers, one for each show. And that's either Brad Ruther, Ken Jennings, or James Holzhauer, who are the last 3 like streak champions.
They're the goat Jeopardy champs.
But I don't like it either. You're right, because I don't like the whole thing, the steps thing in
the original format of the chase with Brooke Burns is so much better. You would have to watch Game Show Network in order to really get a good idea of what the original format was like.
Wait a minute.
Sarah Haynes is not a bad host. She's too slow.
Oh yeah. Oh, I watched it on DVR last night, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, it's taking forever to build up. Like, but wait a minute, the same Brooke Burns that hosted Dog Eat Dog?
Yes.
Wow. That was one of my favorite shows growing up.
She now hosts another game on GSN called Masterminds, and for my friend Armando, if you're watching, I hope to see your episode one day.
Oh, was he on it?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And guess who was one of the masterminds? Ken Jennings.
Oh, that show is sick. That's a really cool show.
Oh yeah, it is definitely.
Is that the one with the clocks and the times and all that stuff? Or
I don't necessarily know. I haven't really watched a full episode of Mastermind.
But I thought like you have a clock and like you have to answer a certain amount of questions.
I think that's how it works.
And then whoever the mastermind is has to like beat them or challenge whatever the
right. I know my friend Muffy Morocco is one of them, the masterminds. I don't know the others besides Ken Jennings.
Ooh, sorry.
Ooh, sorry.
But I don't know. I thought you're right. The chase is a little bit slow in general, not just because of her. Everything is slower. I don't like the whole like steps thing when they do the challenger thing after they do the questions. Like,
the head-to-head.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird. Like, well, let's put the chaser at the top to make him look all high and mighty at the top. I'm like, that's
the point?
I know, but it's weird looking. Like, and by the way, I watched the episode. I guess the most recent episode. That guy got owned in the last round.
He did,
and I felt bad for him. Like, he actually answered like 13 or 14 questions. Like, I was just
that's what happens. You'll have a good run, and then they'll just say nope.
And by the way, James Holzhauer is like a major douche.
There are so many stories that I could expose him on right now, but we'll save that for a rainy day.
But I'm just saying, like, they show Ken and James in the background, like as they're like showing the game show, and he's just such like an asshole sometimes. Like,
well, we expect he's a sports gambler from Vegas. He's got to have that cockiness from him.
But I love how he's just like, yeah, they should absolutely know that answer. Like, okay, sure. Some of the questions are hard, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's the whole premise of it.
But all right, we'll move on from. Wow, so that went from The Bachelor all the way to Jeopardy and the Chase. Wow. Okay. But speaking of chasers, someone who is chasing the virus, we'll go there. So, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has officially tested positive for COVID-19 and basically has canceled all his Texas shows. So my question is, was he literally out on the road doing shows?
Izzy, I think you were telling us this before the show began. He was out during this whole thing, was he?
I believe he was, yes. And then, he was being very careful, but then I guess he, God forbid, caught the virus. Unfortunately, now he has to cancel all of his shows. But the thing that's interesting, too, about that story is that if he would have even been able to do shows, though, because I don't believe he was actually, like, out, like, doing shows. Like, I think he was doing different things for, like, TV. But I don't think he can even do, like, live audience shows right now. Because
it says that he performed the first of 5 shows that were planned on Wednesday night at the Stubbs Waller Creek Amphitheater in Texas. He was in a theater.
Yeah, I'm sure there's nobody in there as well, unless maybe like his team that's there. But besides that, I'm sure. Well, actually, what's funny though, because Texas is actually in a different state, I believe, than like what we are up in here. Because down south right now, if you go down to Florida, if you go down to like North Carolina or South Carolina or Texas, the restrictions are totally different down there.
Well, because Florida and Texas, like, they think that they're not immune to the virus. So,
Yeah.
So basically, I don't know what's going on there, but Florida's basically moved on to normal society again at this point, hasn't they?
Yeah, but what do you expect? It's Florida.
Well, I guess you could be outside more often, so I guess you can socially distance more in a warmer state. Well, same with Texas, but I don't know.
Texas is like the baby brother of Florida, of the craziness that's going on over there. It's just that Florida has Disney World and Texas doesn't.
Well, yeah. But I don't know how comedians are making a living, though. That's the big question that I have. How are comedians making a living? How are they, like, you see some of them are doing streaming on YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Some of them are now doing cameos.
God, Cameo is like a major business right now.
Oh, my God. Oh, excuse me. Yes, it is.
Oh, are you starting already? What's going on over there?
Not with the burping today, though, but I am with the yawning now. And I don't understand. I'm so tired even today, too, though, because I slept pretty well last night, though, but I've been going to bed at like whatever times. But
You mean like 3 o'clock in the morning, like I've been doing?
Yes. We go to bed so late. We really do. I mean, like, I remember this one time I was on the phone with you until like 5:30 in the morning, and it was almost 6, and I was actually working at the station and stuff too. And I was like, oh my God, it's almost time for that 6 a.m. show to come on. You're like, yeah, I got to go to sleep.
That was probably back when I was working overnight.
I think it was, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was like a vampire trying to stay awake.
Yeah.
The problem
All right,
is go ahead.
Speaking of cameo, guess who I found?
Oh, no. I can't.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Ah!
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
For $500, you can get a cameo from Chris Harrison from The Bachelor.
Hello, friends. This is Chris Harrison from The Bachelor. I'm going to stir up a bunch of drama because paying $500 is a dramatic price to pay for a cameo.
Da-da-da-da.
So, but I don't know. But speaking of drama and, well, I'll save that story for a second. I want to talk about the Mets story. Now, usually we're a joking show. We like to have fun. But this story, I don't know, Kyle, how would you describe it?
A clusterfuck.
Yeah, that's about right.
As a Met fan, I can personally say, because Nick, you're a Yankee fan, and Izzy, I don't know which team you like. Are you a Yankee fan or Met fan?
I am. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan too.
Damn right.
Why?
Mets are gonna win the World Series. No, kidding. I'm not like that. I'm not totally optimistic, but we got Lindor at least. I'm happy we got him, but you know what? This whole story is just so crazy. Because I found out this story late into the night. I tell Nick about it, and we're on the phone talking about it. And for one thing that I know, that at least what the Mets did, they took care of it quickly and with literally no other drama.
Well, we got to give some context because we got to talk about what happened. So
yeah.
So Jared Porter, the ex-GM now of the New York Mets, a story breaks, I want to say a couple days ago now, probably the beginning of the week. And basically it comes out that in 2016, 2017, he was texting with a foreign correspondent reporter, journalist at the time, not journalist anymore, and texted about 60 to 62 or 63 lewd photos of himself to this woman.
Y'all can probably guess what he was taking pictures of.
I don't know, cookies?
Well, let's just put an eggplant emoji in there.
Okay. I'm not trying to make light of it. Trust me, I'm not trying to make light of it.
No, but this whole situation sucks. Because, this was a new era for the Mets. A new owner. We just had a massive trade for Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco. We have a new general manager. Sandy Alderson's back with the organization. Brody Van Wagenen is out. Things were looking up for the Mets, and then all of a sudden they lull Mets it.
Well, and here's the thing that I have a problem with in this story. So I am totally about to crash on the Mets right now because you're telling me that in your internal investigation, which I'm sure everybody does when they get hired for a position, maybe not for lower positions in different companies, you just get a background check. But excuse me, that they didn't find 3 or 4 years ago that the man is a perv.
Well, then again, it's like he could have changed phones. He could have done a lot of shit to evade this kind of shit. If
The media found the text messages.
Exactly, that's the problem. It's like, but the problem is, who gave them the text?
It's public. They were public. That's what's even worse about this whole story.
Exactly, they're made public. At least we don't have to see the pictures.
Yeah, it's bad news. Well, I'm sure if you look up the text message, you can probably find them.
And I don't wanna.
But wait a second. 1 text message, 2 text messages, 3 text messages. Okay. But 62 text messages?
It's the Mets.
Wait. And then he admitted to doing it. And then on top of that, he said, "Oh, it wasn't a real picture of my junk. It was one of those GIF things."
Bull crap.
And I'm like, first of all, I don't think Facebook or text messaging would have GIFs of, well, let's just call it the eggplant. But
The eggplant. Because we're trying not to get thrown out. Or as Frankie Russo always says, please don't knock me off the air, man.
God, your impressions are just freaking phenomenal, dude. Like, you have to do that for a living, I'm telling you.
yeah.
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 No, this is Frankie. Like, I hate when. Okay, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But basically, this story just made my blood boil because how do you not know that someone is allegedly committing sexual assault behind your back? You hire the guy, and then you're like, "My bad, you're fired."
Personally, go ahead.
Izzy, what do you think about this? Like you hire somebody, like, "Oh, my bad, fired."
That's just, I guess they made a mistake and they just thought like he would be good, but then because see, I never heard of anything like that before, but that's kind of like wild. I mean, like, you get someone's hopes up like that too, you know?
Yeah, but by the way, this is unacceptable behavior where it doesn't matter. First of all, it could be a guy to a guy, a guy to a girl, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's unacceptable behavior to be sending lewd text messages to people and just obsessive. First of all, I think, and I'm saying this as a possible prediction here, I don't think this is the first time he's done that.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. And the one thing that makes me actually angry about this was when Steve Cohen announced that he was terminated, the Mets fans started getting angry at Steve.
Yeah,
because
that was the problem. Yeah.
Because of cancel culture. This isn't cancel culture. This is somebody who threw out his junk, took a picture of it, sent it to a reporter unsolicited. She didn't want it.
Yeah, that's the nicest way of saying it.
She didn't want it. And you're getting mad at the owner for actually doing the right thing, for having a zero tolerance policy for sexual assault or harassment. That's like first degree sexual harassment right there. If you don't agree with that, if you don't agree with what the Mets did, I'm sorry, then you shouldn't be a Mets fan. You should not be a Mets fan if you support that kind of stuff.
We took a poll actually on my sports show Twitter account. We got 55 votes, and 40% of them said that he shouldn't be banned from baseball or shouldn't have lost his job.
Then those
40%. 40%.
The 40% who voted no, they are condescending, they are liars, and they are assholes. I'm sorry.
I mean, we're talking about sexual assault here. This is no joke. I mean, and you know what? Like, why are you getting mad at Steve Cohen? First of all, if this was the Wilpons would have sat on this.
They would have. They would have thrown hush money at something. But no, At least Steve Cohen, a decent owner and a decent guy, actually has the balls to say, "Hey, we fucked up. He's gone."
No pun intended, by the way. But anyway, I think the Mets need to be held accountable to the highest extent. Now, by the way, Major League Baseball has the worst rules when it comes to mandates.
Manfred.
And to take a wild guess, do you know what the highest fine that Major League Baseball can give? Both of you guys? And
I would say 3 mil, 6 million.
you're in the ballpark, $5 million. That's
it.
That's the highest fine that they can give for the cheating scandal with the Astros. $5 million fine was the highest that they can give the organization.
I'm going to go on a tangent real quick. If they were to ban Jared Porter from baseball, then they should do the same with AJ Hinch and all the players that were directly involved with the cheating scandal in 17.
I agree with you.
You know, it's really their character. We were talking about this earlier. And I personally think they compromised the game of baseball for their own gain. It gave them a World Series championship. I personally think that the title should have been revoked. Those players that were directly involved should have been banned, and that includes George Springer.
Right. And I just $5 million, and you, Kyle, you made this point before we went on. What is $5 million to a owner in the world of sports? Any league.
It's literally pocket change.
I mean, if you look at guys like Mark Cuban, Steve Cohen, first of all, for most people that don't know Steve Cohen, if you're not from New York, Steve Cohen is a hedge fund billionaire worth $14 billion. What do you think $5 million is? He could take $5 million and wipe his ass with it. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just making a point.
He's got more money than Trump.
Well, everyone has more money than Trump these days because the banks are not giving him any money. Anyway.
Oh!
But, well, because the Deutsche Bank and all the other ones refuse to give him money anyway.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I think they need to make an exception here with this situation and figure out, why did this happen? Who was responsible? Sandy Alderson. I'm looking at you. I mean, and he also revealed the country, by the way, of the woman, which the woman said that she didn't want revealed.
Yeah, that's a bit of a low blow.
Why are you revealing the country? She said that if they find out that it happened to me, my country's going to crucify me for it.
Yeah. And not only that, because of that incident, she's no longer in the journalism business. She's in another career field. Well, that's the severity of the situation.
Right. And I think because she just didn't want to deal with the whole thing in general. But I don't know. I feel bad for her, whoever this woman is. And the reason I'm saying this is because we don't know the name. We're probably never going to know the name, to be quite honest. But
you see this bottle right here? This is supposed to be Jared Porter.
Oof. That probably hurt. Anyway, I don't know. Just, I'm not happy about this. First of all, I don't want to see any woman being sexually assaulted or attacked in any way, shape, or form. It's not fair to them. It's ridiculous. Can we grow up in the world of 2021 and realize, and Izzy and I have said this many times on episodes, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it to them at all.
PSA, men, take accountability.
And also, this might come out wrong, but watch where your dick is.
Yeah.
No, and I mean that in a serious way, because some men don't think. They just think, oh, here we go. Like, no, because Kyle, true or not?
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. There are people out there that should not even be considered adults because they are still, Aaron Carter, I'm looking at you. They're children by heart. Oh, spilling some tea alert. Spilling the tea alert.
Oof. I wasn't going to go that far. You went that far, but okay.
I did.
Right.
I'm the Howard Stern of this program.
Hey, well, actually, I think Izzy would question that because my mouth has gone off way far.
Oh, spilling the tea alert.
But, all right, let's move on away from this story
Yes.
to the story. Let's talk about dressing in cold weather, shall we? So, Jessica Simpson, who I feel like she's disappeared, and like that was back when in the 90s when we were kids. She was really big music wise, right, Izzy?
Right.
So, Jessica Simpson thought it would be normal to wear a bikini and 4-inch fur heels in the snow.
I believe she was doing that for a model shoot too, which I mean, hey, she must have been so cold doing that though, man, because usually when it snows, it's like anywhere from like 30 degrees or below.
But don't get me wrong, she looks really good. I give her a lot of credit. Her body is great. But
oh yeah.
But why are you dressed in a bikini outside in the snow? Like frostbite.
One word, clout.
Yeah, it's true. Don't get me wrong. She must be working out because she looks really good. But
How old is she?
oh, I don't know. Izzy, you have any idea how old she might be?
I think Jessica Simpson is definitely like in her 30s.
Let's ask.
No.
Let's ask my Amazon thing. Alexa, how old is Jessica Simpson?
Jessica Simpson's 40 years old.
40.
I was close. Yeah.
No, you weren't. You were 10 years off. That's not close.
Well, I said, well, I said that she was in her 30s.
You can just say.
Alexa, shut up.
But wow, she's 40. She looks good for 40.
July 10th, 1980.
Yeah, she looks really good for 40.
Wow.
Like, no doubt. But, and I don't understand why celebrities wear snake skin. That's another thing I don't get.
It
Do you
feels
get that or no? Like, I don't know. I don't get that whole
Snakes are endangered, right?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think snakes are still actually like around.
Why did it have to be snakes?
By the way, while we're trying to control our laughter, follow the Nick and Izzy Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Nick and Izzy Show. Follow the Hirsch Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Hirsch Show.
And YouTube.
And YouTube, right, at the Hirsch Show. And the Nick and Izzy Show on YouTube. Yes, we're on all the platforms except for TikTok because we're old codgers. Anyway.
Well, I'm on TikTok.
Yeah, don't rub it in, okay?
Nah.
See, so most people think TikTok is like some kind of clock app. It's not like doing 1-minute videos. Okay.
You know what? I miss Vine. This brings me back to Vine, but it's so much longer than Vine. I miss Vine so much.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't like famous Viners go over to TikTok? That was like
They did.
Yeah, some of them went over to YouTube as well too.
And now they're not that famous anymore.
But wait a minute. I think I was talking to Kyle about this, and I think I mentioned this to Izzy separately also. There's one video on TikTok. I was watching something where it's just like a head nod to music. That's like a popular thing on TikTok. And I think it got 50 million likes or something. It was the most popular video on TikTok.
Yeah, it's like, remember the guy who was skateboarding down
yes,
a road?
the juice guy, whatever he was called.
With the cranberry juice, and in the background you have Dreams from Fleetwood Mac. And this guy just got a lot of money. He got deals. He was on television. I mean,
and he got COVID.
No.
No, that's a true story. Actually, he did get COVID. Izzy and I talked about it. But
he did.
I don't know. But anyway, as we wind down here, all right, Kyle, let's talk about episode 2 of the Hirsch Show.
Oh, yes. Episode 2 of the Hirsch Show is going to be fantastic. I'm pretty sure everybody that grew up in the 90s, especially if you watch the Disney Channel, I think y'all are going to be pretty amazed at who's coming. Hello? Who are you?
That.
It's Bear! Bear in the Big Blue House. I was able to talk to Noel McNeil, the puppeteer, for Bear, and who also does the voice for Bear as well. And he was just so much fun to talk to. We were talking about, his early days on Sesame Street, Eureka's Castle on Nickelodeon in the early 90s, and his new project, The Show Me Show, which I think is really cool because it's catered to kids with special needs.
That's cool.
I think that's really cool, and I'm pretty sure y'all are gonna like it too. And he also brought a little special surprise out at the end to surprise me, and I think y'all have a pretty good idea of what he did. But Bear's like, what's that smell?
By the way, he's on Oliver too, right?
Oliver?
No.
Oh yes, Last Week Tonight. He is the resident puppeteer for the Last Week Tonight show with John Oliver.
I didn't know that was still a thing. A resident puppeteer. You learn something new every day, don't you?
Yeah, and he also is now teaching virtual puppetry classes.
Now that's something you don't hear every day either. But
you know, it's not easy doing puppetry, and I've tried it myself. It is not easy.
Well, I don't know how people do the whole talking thing. I just don't.
Well,
know.
you gotta talk like this, but at the same time, you have to deal with like rods and stuff, or you know, it's not necessarily the lip syncing. You gotta match the head movements.
What's her name that was on AGT that was really good? That one, I can't remember her name.
Darcy Lynn.
She was incredible.
She was amazing.
She could sing and do the puppetry. Like she was able to sing with her full mouth closed. I was like, how?
That is hard.
How much breath sequence you need to do that whole thing?
Yeah, because I can't even do it. That's how good she is.
But I want to finish off on one story because we have to talk about it because I think it's tonight. The Mega Millions jackpot drawing is tonight.
$1 billion.
Yeah, it's so funny because it went up like $30 million.
I'm trying to look it up.
Last night.
I'm trying to look it up as we speak to see what the number is. Oh, next estimated jackpot, $1 billion.
Yeah, it's up to $1 billion now. Yeah.
Holy shit!
So you know what? This is what we're gonna do. When we get out of here, I'm leaving immediately so I can get some tickets.
When is the drawing officially? Is it 11 o'clock?
Tonight at 11 o'clock, right before the news.
Oh God, no one wants to watch the news anyway. But go ahead, get a ticket. Well, since we're talking about the lottery, what's the first thing if you won the Mega Millions jackpot? What would you do?
First thing I would do, I would move to LA.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd want to get out of New York.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I got a lot more friends on Cali.
That's a bold move. Actually, if one of us won, we could set up our network and never have to do anything ever.
Yeah, we don't have to work ever again.
Just be like, the Nick and Izzy network now has money.
We can build a studio. we can hire people.
Yeah. Well, just don't do what SiriusXM did, where they're just firing people and then bringing them back as podcasts. But anyway, I don't know. What Izzy? What's the first thing you would do if you won the Mega Millions?
Oh man, I would get a financial advisor. Actually, that's like
the first thing Izzy would do. The first thing Izzy would do is pass out first.
Yeah, I'd be on a stretcher on my way down to freaking Chilton Memorial Hospital. Like they'd be like, "What happened to you?" Well, the freaking numbers matched. I can't take the
Dear Lord.
Let's see. What would I do first? Actually, I can't even make the joke I was going to make because it's probably a little inappropriate for a certain person sitting here. So I can't make that joke. But I can say that I would. Actually, that's accurate. But I would probably invest the money first, and then I would help our two shows here so that we could just do this for a living because this is what we like.
Yeah.
Instead of you door dashing and Izzy working at Wegmans and me trying to find a job right now, unfortunately. But anyway, how dare you? But all right, thank you, Mr. Harvey. By the way, I think Izzy's obsessed with Steve Harvey. Actually,
I am. I love him. Oh my god, I love him. He's so good.
Talk about someone that has so many freaking jobs.
Oh yeah,
radio, TV, stand up. I don't even know anymore. Most people who are doing syndicated radio shows are doing them from home anyway.
Exactly.
Must be nice, right?
Elvis Costello, I'm looking at you.
Elvis Duran.
Oh God, I can't figure. Whatever. They're all the same.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore. Most of the shows that we know are basically at home. You do realize that for the radio business sake, and I'll finish up on this. This is what the three of us know best. Is most of the shows are pretty much going to stay at home now that they know they can do it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like Izzy and I spent like 10, 15 minutes a couple episodes ago about how podcasting is rising up the charts and radio is on the way down. And just if you can find your niche in the podcasting space or the digital space like this show is and the Her Show is and whatever else we're doing, because we're working on some other ideas, hopefully for more shows to be added in the future. But podcast is up, radio is down, unfortunately, and we the three of us know that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I guess that's pretty much it at this point. But anyway, we will be back on Wednesday, Izzy, right?
Yes, my kind sir.
It looks like we kind of locked ourselves in Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m., at least for the time being, until you go back to work. Kyle's your show is Sundays at 5.
Yes.
All Eastern time, by the way. Yes. Well, why are you saying Eastern time? Well, because we're on a feed that goes around the country and the world. So I don't need people
yada. No, I was making a stallion. No, I mean it could go around a little bit like body yada 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 yada
yada. Oh God, I'm dealing with two morons. Anyway, but
damn it.
Hey, don't compare me to Trump,
Brian.
Oh God, that's a whole nother show. Oh my God, we'll be talking about that eventually. I promise you.
But all right,
God,
time is up. I think we've babbled enough. We've babbled for 47 minutes. So I think it's time to let the people go back to what they were doing, which was just sitting at home doing nothing during COVID.
Yeah.
So for Izzy Richardson and Kyle Hershon, I'm Nick Morganson. This is the Nick and Izzy Show. Check out the Her Show as well, Sundays at 5. Noel McNeil will be on this coming Sunday. Like, subscribe, and share. Otherwise, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to punch you. So unless you want me coming to your house and punching you, you better go like and subscribe and share. Same for our show. I'm going to come to your house and punch you if you don't like, share, and subscribe. So, that's it. All right, Izzy. Time to say goodbye.
All righty, brothers and sisters. Have a good weekend this weekend. Just remember, hashtag Izzy loves you so much. Sometimes that's a tongue twister hashtag. Just remember how to. But yeah, hashtag Izzy does love you. And have an amazing weekend this weekend. Enjoy yourself, baby.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good
night.
night, baby.